Imagine waking up in a world where every single day is a fight for survival. There are no cities, no houses, no farms, and no modern tools. There is no police, no hospitals, and no one coming to rescue you. Around you stretches an endless landscape of wild grasslands, dense forests, rocky cliffs, and dangerous rivers. Every sound in the distance could mean that a deadly predator is nearby. Welcome to Earth. 2. For a million years ago, this was one of the most dangerous periods in human history. Our ancient ancestors were not the strongest animals. They were not the fastest runners. They had no sharp claws, no powerful jaws, and no thick fur to protect them from the cold nights. Compared to the giant predators that ruled the land, they seemed weak and defenseless. Yet somehow, against impossible odds, they survived. How? That is the incredible story you are about to discover. The African landscape looked very different from the world we know today. Endless golden savannas stretched beyond the horizon. Ancient acacia trees dotted the open plains while thick forests covered the river valleys. During the day, the blazing sun baked the ground, but after sunset the temperature dropped quickly, turning the night into a cold and dangerous place. Every step carried risk. Large herds of antelope, zebras, and other grazing animals constantly searched for fresh grass, but they were never alone. Hidden among the tall vegetation were powerful hunters waiting patiently for the perfect moment to attack. Giant saber-toothed cats silently stalked their prey. Packs of hyenas competed over every meal. Massive crocodiles waded beneath muddy rivers, almost invisible until it was too late. For early humans, survival meant staying alert every second. Unlike modern humans, these ancient people had very few advantages. They had simple bodies, limited tools, and little protection from. The greatest weapon of early humans was not their strength. It was their ability to learn. Nearly 2. For a million years ago, survival depended on making smarter decisions than the predators that surrounded them. While lions relied on speed and saber-toothed cats depended on powerful jaws, humans began relying on something far more valuable: their growing intelligence. One simple stone would change everything. At first glance, an ordinary rock looked no different from thousands of others scattered across the African landscape. But when two stones were struck together, something remarkable happened. Sharp flakes broke away, creating razor-like edges capable of slicing through animal skin, cutting meat, and shaping wood. This marked the beginning of one of humanity's greatest inventions, the first stone tools. Although primitive by modern standards, these tools completely transformed everyday life. A carcass that once took hours to tear apart with bare hands could now be processed much more quickly. Bones could be broken open to reach the nutritious marrow hidden inside. Thick branches could be shaped into stronger spears. Animal hides could be cut more efficiently, making them useful for warmth and shelter. Knowledge became as valuable as food. Young members of the group carefully watched experienced adults chip stones into useful shapes. Every strike required patience and practice. One wrong hit could ruin an otherwise perfect tool. Generation after generation, these skills were passed down. This was one of the earliest examples of human learning through teaching. Unlike most animals, which depended almost entirely on instinct, early humans could improve their techniques over time. Every new generation inherited not only their parents' genes, but also their knowledge. That ability would eventually change the course of history. With better tools came better hunting strategies. Rather than attacking large animals directly, early humans focused on easier opportunities. Small. As thousands of years passed, the world remained as dangerous as ever. Predators still ruled the land. Food was still difficult to find. A sudden injury, a failed hunt, or a long drought could threaten the survival of an entire group. Yet something remarkable was happening. Early humans were no longer simply reacting to the dangers around them. They were beginning to understand them. For the first time in history, intelligence was becoming a survival tool. Every day offered new lessons. A hunter might discover that certain animals followed the same migration routes each season. A mother gathering plants might learn which berries were safe to eat and which could cause sickness or death. Children watched carefully, absorbing knowledge from older generations. These lessons were priceless. Unlike claws or sharp teeth, knowledge could be shared. And every piece of shared knowledge made the group stronger. One of the greatest challenges facing early humans was the night. When darkness covered the African landscape, the balance of power shifted dramatically. Many predators became more active after sunset. Hyenas emerged from the shadows. Leopards silently moved through trees. Large cats used darkness as cover while stalking prey. For humans, nighttime could be terrifying. Their eyesight was poorly suited for darkness. Every sound seemed louder. Every rustling bush felt like a threat. Families often gathered closely together in sheltered locations, listening carefully for signs of danger. A distant roar could keep an entire group awake. Yet over time, humans developed strategies to survive even these frightening nights. Groups began choosing safer sleeping locations. Rocky outcrops provided better visibility. Caves offered protection from wind and rain. Large trees sometimes served as temporary shelters where predators were less likely to attack. The ability to plan ahead became one of humanity's greatest advantages. Animals often responded to immediate needs. As millions of years passed, one thing became clear. The greatest victory of early humans was not defeating every predator. It was surviving long enough to learn from each challenge. Every dangerous encounter, every successful hunt, and every harsh season became a lesson that shaped the future of our species. Unlike other animals, humans didn't simply adapt through evolution alone. They adapted through experience. Knowledge became their most valuable survival tool. Imagine standing on a rocky hill overlooking the endless African savanna. The morning sun slowly rises over the horizon. Herds of grazing animals begin their daily migration. In the distance, a family of elephants moves toward a shrinking waterhole. Birds circle high above the plains while somewhere in the tall grass, a predator patiently waits for the perfect moment to attack. For an